What is good? You know what it is? Before, hereafter. The after of Vipassana 10-day meditation retreat course. What was it like? Aren't you curious? So what is Vipassana meditation? Let's go over it again. Vipassana meditation in the retreat that I've been on for 10 days is a act and vow of noble silence for 10 consecutive days in which you don't speak verbally, with gestures, physically, or touching, and you're only there to look within. Complete silence. So the one I went to was about an hour away from the city of Dallas. You could see the beautiful night stars. And it was a farm, on a farmland, beautiful pasture cows that weren't being slaughtered or anything, just chilling, walking around. It's beautiful, a lot of nature. The air is different. Say what's up. How you liking the air, bro?
It feels kind of homey.
It smells different, right?
It's different. No, it's homey. This is what I'm used to. Grew up in this.
Hell yeah, this is real nature. Oh. Yo, I might just move out here, to be honest. I might build my motherfucking loft right there. Camp here for the rest of my life. But I started some Vipassana. I'm gonna go turn in my phone so I can't record anymore. Turn in my wallet, turn in everything. As you can see, it's fucking pretty out here. And there are about 60, I think to say 70 students at that time that I went. And it was crazy. The experience completely changed me. Vipassana meditation and what it is, Vipassana is a type of meditation, and there's a lot of different types of meditations. Vipassana is one of them. And paying attention to your breath. We started the first 3 days just paying attention to the breath in through the nose, out through the nose. And the touch of the breath, sensation of the breath is what we were just focusing on. The mind would never stop, right? We were constantly thinking of things, always going to the past, to the future, time traveling, and never being here in the now, in the present moment. The mind never wants to be in the now and takes you away from the present moment, which are where your superpowers and your gifts truly lie, is where your happiness and authenticity and joy of life lies in the now. So you can only find the answers you want in life through the now. The need to take, the craving to take drugs and escape through TV, Netflix, and all sorts of different things you might do, like food is a big one. Sex is a big one. To escape by doing these things, you are causing your misery to be multiplied over and over and over because you're responding negatively to things you don't want in life. If you don't want, something doesn't go your way, you immediately want to take some drugs or put your mind off of it, watch some TV and forget all about it instead of being with it, being aware of it and letting it pass through you and just going away. And that's the beauty in it. All the pains that you get in life. Life sucks, yes, but life is also beautiful. That's why it's important not to become fixated and attached to the things that feel good. Then you start craving those things. And it's important not to judge and want to respond negatively to things that don't go your way, the things you don't want in life. And we came to enlightenment, and that's what really enlightenment is being aware that all these sensations are passing through you. Change is the only constant of the universe, and you can know this through an intellectual basis, but to know it through an experiential point of view is a different, more profound point of view that we all need. You can sit here and read a book and watch me talk about it all day long, but to experience it is the medicine. If you're looking towards growing your mind, changing your whole life for the better, should take Vipassana, and should take it under understanding these principles and these rights and these rules, these regulations. So when you're getting into Vipassana, you want to know, okay, so what do I gotta do? What do I gotta know to prepare myself? Why is it so important? Because many people all around the world, there's Vipassana centers all around the world. You might find one near me. I just happened to find it an hour away from me, which was pretty cool. They're all over the world, and you should be able to find a Vipassana retreat near you. These retreats operate on a donation basis, so they feed you free food. The stay there's free, which is just beautiful that they're doing such good for other people that way. And I would recommend, after taking it, you're going to gain the experience to donate, because these kind of things that are happening around the world, what Vipassana centers are doing around the world, is changing people's lives, thousands and thousands of people's lives. I myself have experienced a lot more calmness, joy, and whenever things that don't go in my way in life, I just know that change is the only constant through an experiential point of view now, not just intellectually, but now I've experienced it, so I know that these feelings, these emotions, these thoughts are going to pass away. And knowing that through experience, I'm able to respond much more accurately. I'm able to see things from a point of view where I'm not judging it, I'm not holding on to it, I'm not craving it, I'm not responding with negativity. I'm simply observing any sensation that comes about, because thoughts create sensations in your body. Things are going to happen that you feel, and your body's going to respond a certain way by you experiencing the sensations, and how you respond to those sensations is how you view yourself. It is your character, it is you as a person. So it is so important to know thyself, and that's what Vipassana does. It teaches you to know thyself. So I'm gonna put in a little section right here. I did some interviews of other people that are also took the Vipassana course with me, and you can hear what they had to say about it. So I'm gonna let that play out. All right, Rob, what was your biggest takeaway from Vipassana? And being in silence for 10 days, going back into society, and I know you've done this, I believe this is your fourth time, correct? Third time doing this? Okay, so as an experienced Vipassana meditator, what would be like maybe even a superpower or some hidden truth that you found going back into society?
I mean, overall, my experience with Vipassana over the last 3 periods, perhaps it would be easier for me to summarize the overall benefit, I believe. You know, things seem a certain way. And Vipassana teaches us to focus on our feelings. And so what I think, and what I interpret from all of this is that, you know, we can see something and we can think it means something. So for example, my wife and daughter argue every morning, and I've been watching them for 3 months. And my daughter just wants to be heard. And my wife wants to get out of the door and get her to school. But at some moment, between 6:30 and 7, my daughter rolls her eyes because mother's not listening to her. And mother's not listening to her because she's busy trying to get out of the door. But when she rolls her eyes because she's not being listened to, the mother goes, "I'm not good enough? What, I'm doing all of this stuff for you and it's not good enough?" They have an argument. And it's the same thing every morning. But what is happening is that we see things and we assume they mean certain things, that we assume that somebody's not listening to us, or somebody doesn't understand us, or somebody doesn't value us. And all of these things drive us to anger, fear, or anxiety.
And that's a big thing, right? Experiential. Like, you actually have to experience going through the pain and the misery, letting it go, right? What was your biggest challenge for letting that stuff go?
Oh my gosh, just physically sitting there was incredibly painful. I mean, like, I thought I was going to be near tears towards the first several group sits that we did where we weren't allowed to move. I really thought, I was like, I'm going to have to go to my manager and tell her that I have to leave the course because this is physically damaging to my body. I can't do it. I mean, there were several times where I thought about leaving. I really did. I was like, for different reasons too. Like the first 3 days, I was like, this is pointless. I don't understand. Because the first 3 days is like wax on, wax off. You're like, why am I doing this? Why are we just sitting here watching is this what we're going to be doing for the whole 10 days? So then after we start moving into Vipassana, that's when I'm like, oh, I get it now. And I think actually that's probably my biggest takeaway is each step of the journey, every time you would question something, you would then realize why it mattered later.
What was your Vipassana experience like? And what was your biggest takeaway just going back into the real world, being locked up in 10 days?
A lot of peace, just moving on and letting it go. Every moment passes and then it's gone, you know, so what you hang on to, you choose what you hang on to. So you take the joy, you take the sorrow, you choose what you keep. And so I'm keeping the joy, I'm letting go of the sorrow, letting go of the anger and the hate, and just gonna live my best life. Why not? I've only got one this time.
Do you believe in the whole past life regeneration?
Oh, definitely.
Really?
Definitely.
Tell me about that.
Well, I've decided on this course that I definitely want to come back as a turtle in a meditation pond because
oh hell yeah, me too. I want to come back as a snail.
Yes, like something like if you lived on a meditation center, like that's got to be like one of your highest levels to get at because like they've got a great setup. Like you guys didn't see it, but we have like a lovely little pond over there, and the turtles just like time of their lives, man. Just got to be turtles every day. Nobody was like messing with them, and so yeah, a lot of peace back there.
Okay. And you mentioned a lot of healing, a lot of things you had to let go. What was the hardest part about letting it go?
It was like in Scooby-Doo when like they unmask the villain and it's always Mr. Jenkins, except like there's this moment where like they unmask the villain and you're like, holy shit, like I've been torturing myself. Yeah. Like I had this horrific experience happen, but then every time that I relived it and everything like that, that was me. I was doing that. And so I could choose not to do that. And so I'm not going to do it anymore.
Okay, no, I'm going to have to go watch Scooby-Doo again and learn about that.
Yeah,
thank you again, Leanne, for sharing.
Actually, it's summarized by Steve Jobs in a nice way. Also like a funny quote in a way. He said in one of his speeches, live every day as if it was your last, then one day you'll be certainly right. And I guess that's where it's true, right? That you try to avoid your misery, you try to be your best every day. You cannot change the past and you cannot predict the future. So all that is really certain is what happens now. So that's what you should focus on, not on what's not there or what's no longer there.
Easier said than done, right?
Yeah, it's true.
Because I mean, like everybody, man, constantly, like we're always on the past, always in the future. So I just feel like it's so challenging to always remind yourself to come into the present. And when you really sit in silence for 10 days and you dive deep into your past traumas and your pains and really experience them as what they are, not making them worse than they are. Yeah. I think that's the real challenge, right?
Yeah, so it's...
But what Vipassana teaches us, and what I understand from all of this, is that those signals that trigger us don't necessarily mean what we think they mean. In fact, when my daughter rolls her eyes, she just wants to be listened to. She doesn't realize that what that means to my wife is that she's not good enough. So there's this misunderstanding. With Vipassana, we can sense our feelings and we can ask ourselves, is this really what we think it means? Or is it something different? And if we take a moment to stop and listen to our feelings, which is what Vipassana trains us to do for 10 days, just pay attention to your feelings, then we can ask ourselves a question, before I react with anger or fear or anxiety, is this what it appears to be, or is it something else? Is somebody just wanting to be understood? Is somebody else just wanting to be valued? Can we pay attention to them? And if we do, we'll see past our own sensations.
What's up, my brother? So what was your experience in Vipassana like?
It's so hard to describe. It's like something I've never ever experienced in my life. But it's honestly the single-handedly most beautiful experience I've ever had, and hardest at the same time, which is probably what made it so beautiful. All kinds of feelings and emotions. Some days were super hard, and other days were beautifully easy. But that's the thing, is that at the end of the day, they're just days. They're the good days and the bad days. They're just days, and yeah, and it changes my perspective on like craving and aversion and attachment to things, and it made me think about things I was attached to before, and like if I really wanted to be attached to that thing, and if I really want that thing, and if that's helping me serve the greater humanity as a whole, and if I'm living my purpose. And so it's opened my eyes in many ways that I don't think I fully comprehend yet, and I'm still processing, but I think I'll realize very soon.
So in like going back to the real world right now, because we've been like locked up here.
Yeah.
So going back to the real world, what do you think like you'll be able to take maybe like some superpowers deep down inside that you might not have recognized before, or anything like that?
Awareness with choice, like having the choice before I make a decision, if I actually want to make that decision, or if that is a healthy decision, or if that's necessarily the right decision in that moment. And
that's like really powerful, right? It's simple, but it's really powerful though, right?
Yeah. And the thing is, we never know the effect a decision's going to have, which can be kind of intimidating and scary to people. But at the same time, it's liberating when you feel free and of those emotions and that entrapment, that you can make the decision knowing that it's all going to be okay.
Awesome, man. Thank you so much, brother.
Yeah.
Appreciate you for that.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And these feelings, these emotions you're talking about, that come up from us seeing the reality for what anything might be, and kind of creating this own illusion in our own heads through our own self-doubt, our own fears, our own pain, our own traumas.
Right.
How important do you think that is to let go, to even come to the present moment? And why is that almost a superpower? Why is that almost something so valued and not really, also unvalued in society?
I'm going to tell you what I think, right? I'm going to tell you honestly what I think.
Tell me.
I think that we're born, right? When we're born, we are connected to the mother. There's an umbilical cord. And the first thing that happens is that cord is cut and we take our breath. In that moment that we take our breath, we're not relying on the mother, but we can't do anything for a couple of years. In fact, for the first year, all we can do is scream and get attention. And when we feel like we're hungry, we scream. And then the mother has to listen to that and say, what does that mean? Does that mean they need food? This is me, or you, or any person on this planet. And so as we're born with this code to scream, because we need to be fed, we need to be cared for. And so we express ourselves with what looks like anger. And then somebody has to understand what that means so that we can be fed, so that we can be cared for. But we need to be valued. If the mother hears us and understands what we want, but doesn't care about us, doesn't need us, then we're not going to survive. So we're born with this thing to be connected, and we need to survive. But what happens is that in life, we don't realize that, oh my God, if I lose my job, I'm going to die. We think that we're going to be disconnected from this group because the mind cannot actually see what's going on. And so what happens is that we go through life thinking, I need to be listened to, I need to be understood, I need to be valued. But actually that's from the coding from when we're born. But we don't actually need it. Once we can stand on our own 2 feet and think, we don't need to be subjected to that instinct that's protected us when we were first born. And so what that means is that when we come to this realization that there's this, what I believe is this instinct to connect, we don't have to be driven by those feelings. And so Vipassana enables us to slowly go, hang about, I'm not 6 months old. I don't have to behave like a baby. I can stand on my own 2 feet and I can help others.
So, as you would imagine, an event like this is very intense, and it's bound to create a lot of change if you take it seriously and you do the work while you're there. If you're going to a seminar which you paid $3,000 to go, you're bound to make yourself take the notes, do the work, and give your full attention to it. Give it all of your energy. you want to do the same things, because these 10 days that are happening, and you're taking the time out of your life to take these 10 days of noble silence, they're going to be very, very challenging. They're going to be very capable of giving you the experience that you need. If you work, is something we're taught. S.N. Goenka was the teacher's name who created these Vipassana courses. And following in his teachings and really learning from him, you want to be open-minded, just as you would read a book that a mentor would recommend to you. You're going to remain open-minded to the new consciousness that you might find within yourself. That mentor gave you that book, taught you about this course, or showed you the way, and since it's your mentor, you're very open-minded and reluctant to take on the new information that they might be guiding you towards. It's the same way. This kind of retreat, you must come at it with that open-mindedness and that hunger for a new opportunity to develop your character, to develop yourself, to change, to evolve. And I really do believe that evolution is our purpose, our divine purpose here on this planet that we're sent here for. To evolve and create, as X said it, Tentacion, before he passed away, was mentioning. So it's a great experience to evolve yourself, to learn about yourself, to know thyself, to completely change the books of your story of life. You'll probably be replaying story of life through all the past experiences, the traumas, through the parents that you grew up with, to the family, to the environment you grew up in, that all made you the person you are. So this could be that reset button, that one event in your life that changes things around, that allows you to take on a new sense of awareness, which is what you need to find your purpose. You need to have a sense of awareness of yourself, or else you could never find your purpose. That sense of awareness is so lost in society we live in today. It's very undervalued by the constant distractions that we have with social media, TV, movies, entertainment industry, and practically really anything. And Vipassana is very practical, very methodical. It is a process of cleansing yourself, of detoxifying yourself, your body, your mind, your soul, to allow room for the new change. Your biochemistry will change. My biochemistry, I can feel it on a cellular experiential level, that it's entirely changed. I feel entirely different in a better way, in a more productive way. I feel any challenge that might come by me in life is that in itself a challenge and nothing more. It's something that will pass, something that will come. Challenge is bound to come. I will approach it the same by remaining economist, as S.N. Goenka says. Remaining economist was a huge teaching in this Vipassana course. When you can remain economist through the daily things in life that will happen, you're bound to find success in your own life. You're bound to find success in whatever it is you desire. And you will never know what it is you truly desire, what it is you're truly meant here to accomplish and pursue, until you went deep, deep within and you healed these things. You went deep to the core of your being and you stopped yourself from generating new misery, to finally eradicate all suffering, to be content, blissful, full of joy. And then you can be woke and come at everything in life through this new awareness of yourself. Your third eye is bound to blossom open after this kind of experience naturally. So, call to action, everyone. If you're serious about yourself, you're serious about your life, go take a Vipassana retreat and take it seriously, do the work. And afterwards, if you're done taking the Vipassana retreat, come back to this video as a reflection point, as something to see how it relates. This video should relate with everybody. See how this video relates to you, and see how universal the stuff I am saying is, and then you can then pursue what it is that you want to do on your own purpose. You can then put the pieces of the puzzles together to tie the new connections, the new brain synapses that you've now created, the new neural pathways that are now there in your brain, to find out what it is that you're meant here to do, and attack it with 100% presence, joy, and a love for life. So go take action, take that Vipassana retreat, and afterwards, when you're done, maintain the daily practice. Maintain the daily, nightly, and morning practice of doing the 1 hour Vipassana meditations, because that's the most important after you do these kind of things. It's the continuity of practice. It's that devotion for yourself that you are committed towards success, towards development, towards health, towards wisdom, towards happiness. And as S.N. Goenka would say, may all beings be happy, may all beings be free. Thank you for watching the video. This was before, here, after. And leave a like, comment down on any of your thoughts you might be experiencing right now, and share this with somebody who could use it. This is before, here, after. Signing out. Peace.